got to make sure when we have conversations about race that it's not all black people, because race is something that affects the entire country. It's not a black thing, it's not a Latino thing, it's an American thing. We think about race all the time, and some of it's intuitive, and some of it's incredibly complex. And we need to sort of operate on multiple levels. And there's really a lot of good work now in terms of really helping us understand how the mind works about race. The average American, the mind registers race in 1/10 of a second. Race operates at a lower than a cognitive process. It operates, the cognitive brain cannot control race because it's operating on such a deep level. So when we talk about race, we have to sort of, in a sense, hook in to those deep levels, not just have a rational discussion, not just have a numbers discussion. And then we have to sort of flip the frame, as they say, sort of think about how do we talk about race constructively. Race is a complex thing, and part of the complexity is also how it intersects with other issues, other things, how race interacts with gender, how it interacts with class, how it interacts with sexual orientation, how it interacts with religion. And so we need to sort of think about this as a interactive set of processes. We can enter into it through one dimension, but we quickly get into other dimensions.
At the public opinion level, there's a lot of belief in the ideal of equal opportunity, and that's a big change that I think often we don't acknowledge. It often doesn't seem real to us because of the other clusters of beliefs that I'll describe. But in fact, when one looks at opinion research now versus really even 15 years ago, this is a significant change. It's also true that the nature of racial bias has changed, and that the national conversation and national perceptions of it have not changed to go along with that. Americans disagree about the existence of racial discrimination and inequality. And those are important distinctions, right? They disagree about discrimination. And so white folks are much, much less likely to believe that discrimination continues to be a significant problem. African Americans much more likely. Latinos tend to be in between, but actually closer to African Americans. Asian Americans also tend to be in between, but closer to whites in that belief scale. But that, of course, is a broad generalization. But it's also true that among white populations in particular, there's a kind of a disbelief that there's even inequality when it comes to wages, when it comes to access to health care, when it comes to housing quality and the like. That is both an information issue, but it's also a narrative issue, right? Because we know that people are impervious to facts that do not fit within a story that they're already carrying in their heads.